Hey, what's going on, everybody? My name's Chris. I am the founder and owner of Wilderness Trio. Some of you have talked to me before, some of you have met me, some of you have not. And so, one of the things that I kind of want to do now from here on out is just to give you a face to the company. And unfortunately, I'm giving you a decent looking face to a pretty good company. But because it's my company, I'm going to do it. So, that kind of is what it is. And so, I kind of wanted to share with you guys some things about my vision, my dreams, why I do what I do, and some of the things that we deliver to you guys. One of those things is I want to let you know right now I'm in my office. My office is mobile, literally. Sometimes my office is in my garage. My office has been in a spare bedroom. My office right now is in a trailer. My office can sometimes be in a Starbucks. My office can sometimes be in someone else's garage. It's always mobile for a reason. The reason why we do that is because we want to cut costs where we can at the inconvenience of me and the people that have to work with me. And so one of those things is I realize that I can get a corporate office. I can go ahead and rent a giant space, but really the cost gets cut to the consumer, right? And so I don't want to do that. And so for me, Wilderness Trio was started to make the wilderness accessible to everybody. Because what I started looking at was I started noticing a lot of the big name companies that were guiding had 3 day trips, like literally 2 nights, 3 days, maybe 4 days if you're lucky, that didn't include really anything. It included, hey, we're gonna help you get to your spot, and then we'll see you in the morning, and we'll take some photos for you, and that would be around $1,200 or $1,300 for easily for one person to go. That kind of frustrated me. So for me, I set out all the time to cut costs where I can, and one of those, like I said, is to just make my office mobile. I'll do what it takes to bring that cost down. And so sometimes people look at our prices and are like, well, why is it so cheap compared to so and so? Well, there's a reason why. Same thing with our gear rentals. What we've done with our gear rental stuff is our cost is probably the lowest that you'll find in, I'm willing to bet, all of California. And the reason for that is we're able to. We don't have a whole lot of overhead. You know, we're not storing these things. We don't have a front like warehouse or a storefront. Basically, is what we don't have. The gear has been stored literally in my garage, in the garages of all three of my business partners, in the sheds of one of them, and right now it's also stored in a storage unit. So what we do is we go and grab that for you when you need it, when you try and meet up with you to keep that cost low. So it's not really somebody shows up all the time. They go on the website. They're like, hey, where's the store? Can I go by the store? The store really doesn't exist. The store kind of exists out of the trunk of our cars. And so we have business license operating permits through the cities that we work in to go ahead and deliver that experience to you guys, but at a lower cost. So yeah, for me, like, it's all about delivering a cheap experience, but a great experience, one that everybody can enjoy and be part of. Because yeah, like I said, I realize that there's companies already charging an arm and a leg, and that's not my heart. That's not my goal. That's not my vision. One of the other things too I wanted to talk to you about was I used to work at a church. I worked at a church for 9 or 10 years, specifically with junior high and high school students. And one of the things I always tell them was I would always tell them, hey, look, this is your youth group. And I remind them of this time and time again. This is your youth group. So the thing that you want, you let me know so I can help deliver those. If you want a certain event or a certain activity or a certain thing, let me know so I can put that together. I'm not going to tell you this is your company because I don't want you to have to go to sleep knowing that at night. I do that enough. And so, but I will tell you that we design all of our adventures for you. We sit down a few times a year to add things, to delete things, to really brainstorm and think outside the box. You can ask all three people that I work with as far as like crazy ideas out of the box thinking goes. That's me. Thankfully, I have a team who slows me down, which is great because otherwise we'd be probably rock climbing on Mars with Elon Musk. So yeah, that's where my head goes a lot of time. But so I mentioned that because I want to let you know that when you sign up for one of our trips, one of the questions that I ask you is, what do you want to get out of this trip? What do you want to learn? What do you want to know? My personal goal is, if you're going on a trip with me personally, is that my goal is for you to leave with enough skills and confidence to where you feel like, man, I had a great time, Chris, but I don't need you guys anymore. I would love for you to come back. I really would. But if I delivered and I gave you enough to get you out to go with your friends or family or whatever, fantastic. That was my goal. So for me, that's what I set out to do. And so I want you to know that all the adventures and things that we do are based around our adventurers, and that's you. So anytime we ask for your feedback, it's because we genuinely want to know to build a better business around what our clients and adventurers want. Because I realize that there's crazy things that I want. Like, I want to do some ATV stuff. I want to do rappelling. I want to do all these crazy things. And I realize that I'm only one guy, and I got to keep my feet on the ground. So So yeah, it's better to ask you than it is to ask me what we should do with the company. So please, when we ask you that, please let me know, because it means a lot to me. I want to let you know that as we're kind of like, we're already almost done with February. One of the things that we are doing is we're adding a lot of things to our trips right now. Mainly the camping stuff. We have seen an explosion in the interest of camping, which has been fantastic. You know, we already provided things like the meals and the gear and the sites, and handled a lot of the itinerary and those kinds of things. What we've done, we've taken that a step further this year, is we've sat down and we've decided, okay, what it really is a gourmet menu like. And we've added a lot of things. We've gotten rid of some things. We're kind of we're upping our game on that. Um, so much so that, you know, we have another person that's joined our team last year, which has been fantastic. You probably met her. Her name is Jen. Jen's done a wonderful job, and she's just come alongside of us. You know, before you just had me, Josh, and Noah, three dudes, and now we got Jen, who's really, really helping us see things that we just didn't see before. And she just brings a lot to the table. And so, like, one of the things that we just saw in our last adventure to Sequoia just a couple weeks ago was every single morning, or before every single meal, there was an actual printed up sign of what the menu was going to be for the day or for that particular meal. So breakfast had something listed, and then we'd swap it out, and there'd be a new one for lunch, and then a new one for dinner, and it looked really good. So that's one of the things that we've added. Like I said, we've gone back, looked at some of our food options, gotten rid of some things, added some things, kept some things that we thought were good. And then the other thing too, we've added a couple more other things this year. Is one of the other things too we've added is glamping. You might scroll back and see some of the photos that we've already posted for the glamping. It's people being in a nice roomy tent. Well, something just flew into my eye there. Gotta love that. But it's people being in a nice roomy tent with actually full-on inflatable air mattress, the thickest that money can buy. Literally, I think it's like 14, 15, 16 inches thick. And it's huge. It's comfortable. I envy those who get to sleep in it. It looks awesome. And then we come by with actual bedding. It looks legit. So we're not just throwing you a sleeping bag and being like, hey, jump in here. You know, it looks really nice. Even full on like a nightstand and a table. And if it's during one of our colder adventures, we even throw in a heater in there for you, and a lantern for you to use as well. So we're really taking care of you on that front. You know, and that's an option for you if you want to. And if you want to save a few bucks and not go with that option and bring your own stuff, totally cool. But if you want us to bring things for you, the glamping option is there, and it's very reasonable. It ends up being like maybe an extra 45 or 50 bucks a person, and you don't have to worry about that. We'll set it all up, we'll clean it all up. You just show up and your stuff's there. You basically bring your luggage into the tent, and there you go. The other thing that we've added, or that we're adding this year for camping stuff, is the use of a motorhome or RV. And because we realize a lot of people come out with us and they're like, hey, I've never really camped before. I'm here for the scenery, and sleeping on the ground for them is it's asking a lot. So, and I get it. So one of the things too we've added is going ahead and have a motorhome or RV option. We're talking about something that has its own. It's all enclosed, right? So it has its own bathroom. It's got its own table. It's got its own bed, and it's all yours. And that would be yours for the weekend. So we've added that as well. And one of the things that with that is we need as much notice as possible, because if we have 3 or 4 different groups interested on the same weekend to do something like that, then we have to reserve, you know, RVs and get those brought into the parks or wherever we're going to operate as soon as possible. So if that sounds like something of interest to you and you see one of our adventures that you want to be on, let us know as soon as you can, so that way we can add those things to your adventure and make it a better experience for you. So we've just added a lot of cool things. As far as, you know, the stuff that we're keeping, we're still doing stuff in Yosemite. We've already scored some of our half dome permits for the year. 2 of our trips are posted online right now. The third one's going to go live here. Today's Wednesday. Third one will be live by Friday, and I'm really excited about that one because it is the hardest permit to get in Yosemite. With the trailhead that we're using on there is, like I said, the hardest one to get. Usually most people get shot down. We actually got it, so it's a little bit shorter. It's a different trail than we usually do for our half dome stuff. So we're going to be posting that here by Friday. That'll be online. We're still doing stuff in Zion. The Zion stuff will be posted here in just a couple days as well. We got some camping trips already scheduled that will be in May for Zion, and then probably back in Zion around September, October when it cools down a little bit. One of the things that we've gotten rid of this year is Big Sur. We might bring it back as time goes on, but for this year we're going to focus on some other things, because the thing that we're adding, which is huge, is Sequoia and Kings Canyon National Parks. So we are able now to operate there for the next 2 years through 2020 and 2021. We'll be operating there, offering hopefully some really great backpacking and camping trips. We already did one great camping trip, but I have some ideas for other ones. You know, things like the Ray Lakes Loop, would be fantastic, and just a few other pieces of the John Muir Trail that you can hit from Kings Canyon for some more backpacking gigs. And then also for the camping gigs, we have some really great camping spots in Kings Canyon, mainly though in Sequoia, that we can deliver to you. And like I said, all those will come with the options that I mentioned earlier, like the glamping or the motorhome or whatever you guys want. We can make that custom for you. But anyways, hey, thank you so much. If you listen to this whole thing, I have no idea how long it is, but if you listen to this whole thing, fantastic. I love it, and I love what I get to do. And so hopefully you guys have questions, comments, concerns. Let me know. I'm here to answer them, and I'd love to see you out on an adventure. Thanks.